all those moments will be lost in time.
Hey guys, what's up and welcome back to my channel. So it's been a while since I've clowned on Cosmopolitan, and you might say, aren't you bored of Cosmopolitan? Don't you think they're probably gonna run out of stupid things to say? And the answer to both of those questions is no, because they continue pumping out deplorably stupid content that genuinely sometimes really makes me feel so much better about my existence, because I think at least I don't work at Cosmopolitan and at least I'm not this stupid. That being said, I was looking through their sex and relationships tab because that's honestly where the worst is, aside from them asking Bernie Sanders really stupid, irrelevant questions. That's where the worst of the stuff is. Sex and relationships. I came across an article that made me simultaneously wonder if I was so out of touch that I had missed out on a hot new slang term, or whether they were so out of touch that it's almost like, you know, when your parents find out about the term LOL and so they'll use it all the time as if it's like this brand new thing that hasn't existed since we were in 6th grade. The term is zombieing. It is truly as stupid and as useless as you might think. And also it's a term that isn't, at least for me, intuitively understood because there are multiple interpretations that I can think. The first one, I thought people who figuratively eat your brain in the sense of kind of what Cosmopolitan does to me. It kills the last functions of my brain because it's so mind-numbingly stupid. That's what I thought zombieing was. But no, it's still somehow dumber. PSA, the dating trend called zombieing is truly scary AF. The ones who eat brains aren't nearly as bad as the ones that slide back into your DMs. Honestly, if the zombie apocalypse does happen, we're directing them towards wherever Cosmopolitan's headquarters are. In early June, I matched with a tatted writer named Sean. He had a smoldering black and white headshot that earned my swipe right. Total Ryan Gosling vibes. After talking for a few days, we decided to meet for a happy hour drinks, and the banter we had via messages translated IRL. Every time I read these articles, it makes me feel like they took someone who has no understanding of slang and they kind of just put slang in a generator and their paragraphs come out. Like, it would be the equivalent of someone saying that's tea on fleek sis or some shit like that, and it's like, what? Why are you talking like that? The following day, he texted me, "What's occupying the Gabster?" Oh, cute. We're already nickname offish. I told him I was watching The Bachelorette with my best friend and playfully asked, "What's occupying the Seanster?" No response. An hour later, I promised I'd never call him the Seanster again. Still nothing. The next day, I texted in all caps, Sean and nada. I couldn't believe he ghosted me in the middle of a conversation that he initiated. I accepted defeat and moved on from the ghost who dish out nicknames but clearly didn't stand them himself. Do you see what I'm talking about with the slang? This eyelash consistently feels like it's coming off. It's driving me batshit crazy. So let's just keep going. Cut to a few months later, and I saw Mr. Edgy Author on a different dating app. I couldn't help but say I thought you died after we matched. He apologized for going radio silent and then asked me to grab drinks that night. I agreed because I believe in second chances. Cue the narrator, and this is the part of the story where Gabby had to learn the hard way. Let's just say after another good date with rosé and IPAs, he ended up basically ghosting me again. Womp. As much as I think ghosting sucks, I also feel like when you just matched with someone on an app, like, I don't really expect them to necessarily continue talking to me. I mean, not anymore now, but when I had Tinder, if someone didn't answer, I just moved on. It's like you literally just swiped on them. How can you be so invested in someone you barely know unless, I don't know, it just seems weird to me to care that much. It's just like swipe on someone else. Those apps are kind of instant gratification apps. Like, yes, sometimes meaningful relationships can come out of them, of course, but for the most part, you kind of need to expect that, right? Because in the end, whoever you swipe on doesn't really owe you anything because you're not at that point in a relationship. Is that an unpopular opinion? If this scenario sounds remotely relatable to your experience, you're not alone. There's an actual legit term for this dating trend called zombieing. Beware of the zombie who who ghosts you and then, after some time has passed, rises from the dead and hits you up again. This can come in the form of a text, DM, phone call, or simply matching on another dating app. So like I said, I don't think ghosting is an appropriate way to deal with a relationship that is farther than just you just swiped on someone, because again, like I said, they don't owe you anything. But at the same time, I also feel like this is a more nuanced concept. Yes, there will be people who come into your life when it's convenient and then peace out, and those people should be cut out by you. But on the other hand, there's also this thing called life. So for me, sometimes I ghost my friends slightly, and we've had this conversation so they know, but when I am in a really bad point of depression, sometimes I'll just text them and be like, yo, I'm not gonna be super responsive today, like I don't really feel like talking, I'm having a moment. And they'll understand. Of course, the important thing is to communicate. But there are times when people are genuinely just busy and they can't always keep up with you, and that's the sad reality of being an adult. Now, people shouldn't be ghosting you consistently because that, to me, indicates that they don't really care to talk to you. But at the same time, it is a more nuanced concept than just like, oh, they're not answering because they hate me. Because again, like I said, when you just swipe on someone, they don't really owe you anything immediately. It's when you're in a more meaningful friendship, relationship, whatever you want to call it, then at least they should be respectful enough to let you know what's what. But before that, they don't owe you shit off just an app. But the question remains, do you give this person a shot again? Do you become a forgiving person like me and focus on the present with someone like Seanster? My answer is no, since that got me nowhere, and now the Seanster is the gonster. See, the concept of you having to forgive someone because they didn't get back to you when you literally had just met is strange to me. Like, I can't imagine actually being angry or offended that someone didn't respond to me on an app. It's another thing if you're dating or if you're in a relationship or something else, but if it's genuinely like you just met, I don't know. To me, that doesn't mandate forgiveness per se, but okay. Okay, quick note from editing me. I'm not trying to say that I think this is the most polite way to deal, because I definitely feel that it's better to just communicate and say, hey, I'm not interested, or it was nice going on a date, but I don't want to see you again, whatever. I think it's better to just be straight up. But also, I just don't think it's that deep. You have to be careful if you're going to date a zombie, says Jane Greer, PhD, family and marriage therapist.
Actually, it's Mantis. Mantis Toboggan, MD.
It's essential to have very clear plans in place for connecting, when you're going to be spending time, and how often you'll text. I see. If you found yourself face to face with a zombie, here are some tips and tricks on whether you should let them actually resurrect from the dead. Yes, I would really like tips on how relationships work from someone who's apparently really upset when someone they just swiped right on doesn't answer them. Consider your standards. This is rich coming from Cosmo. Donna Sozio, author of The Man Whisperer, urges women not to accept shitty behavior as the new normal. Just because zombieing is a thing doesn't mean we have to be okay with it, because newsflash, it's not okay. If you're really hurt by this behavior, no need to take them back if it's going to cause trust issues down the road. And I agree, I think we should have the standards we deem appropriate for our own partners. But again, this is a nuanced thing of, I don't even think it's really ghosting if you and the other person don't have some type of relationship. For me, ghosting implies that you have some type of relationship, whether it's a friendship, you've started dating, whatever. It's not just someone doesn't answer you when you just swiped on them, because they don't owe you shit. They don't even know you. Like, I think it's just strange to put this concept with someone that's essentially pretty much a stranger. Ask yourself if you're feeling secure. Listen, you don't need to be validated by anyone but yourself. If you're feeling insecure and in need of someone's presence because, hi, cuffing season, you're probably going to be more likely to give a zombie another shot when you probably shouldn't. But if you create your own sense of security and not look for it in others, then no matter what happens with them, you'll be just fine, says Sozio. And again, this is a case-by-case thing, right? But I definitely feel like if someone ghosts once or twice, that's normal in life. I think there are plenty of other red flags that you can look at to see if they actually care about you or not. Don't ignore the red flags. Besides the whole ghosting thing, were there other red flags you were ignoring? Because most likely the answer is yes. Dating is when most people are on their best behavior, so if someone is ghosting or zombieing you in the dating phase, you better believe that's just tip of the problems that could arise, says dating coach Camille Virginia. Honestly, I do think that's true. I do think that if someone really, really cares about you, they will make time to text you back. Even with Jacob, my husband now, who we did meet on an app, was if I knew I was going to be really busy or if I knew I wasn't going to answer for hours, I just let people know, yo, like I'm doing this thing right now. It's going to take me a while to answer, and they know. Like, it's that easy to just communicate with someone, and I don't understand why people would just ghost if they really, really care. You know what I mean? So I definitely think that if you're really into someone, you won't ghost. I don't remember ever ghosting Jacob when we were first going out. Like, I think that was when we were the quickest response time ever texting. But at the same time, I don't really think it should be made into this massive thing unless it's actually a pattern and unless there are red flags along with it, right? You can't just take this isolated, you didn't text me back for like 5 hours thing, because that goes into crazy. Was there an apology? If there's a legitimate reason someone ghosted, then okay, yes, maybe it's fine to forgive, but only if they dish out a sincere apology. Yes, literally the words, "I'm sorry." If there's an actual sincere apology attached, not just a lame blanket excuse like work got busy, I'd say forgive, forget, and give it another whirl, says Sozio. Also, work is always busy, that's why it's called work, no excuses. I'm a little bit meh about this because, like I said, it really depends on what kind of relationship you have, because this random Sean guy that you just swiped on, he doesn't really owe you an apology for taking a while to get back to you. Like, she waited, what, a day? And yeah, he should have responded earlier or just said he's not interested or whatever the case may be. But at the same time, it seems ridiculous to me, unless you're in some kind of serious relationship, to demand an apology from someone who's not with you like that. Maybe I just think this way because my depressed brain is like, oh yeah, that's normal. Sometimes people take days to answer. I don't know. You guys can let me know in the comments. I think the bottom line here is that ghosting, zombieing, or whatever cute dating term we're using to excuse bad behavior boils down to one common thing: lack of respect. If someone is straight up ignoring you or not treating you right, especially in the beginning stages of dating, that's 9 times out of 10 not going to change. So keep your ghosts and zombies out of your dating life, but definitely still use them as Halloween costumes. The writing of this was just the cherry on top of this shit cake, but I have to say, I agree with the overall thing of having high standards for yourself and being treated the way you want to be treated and being treated with respect. The thing I don't agree with is boiling it down to this vague ghosting term, because again, the only example we have here is with a very surface level relationship where I don't think there's enough commitment to really say that someone's ghosting you. That's just my opinion. Let me know what you guys think in the comments down below. Have you heard of this term zombieing? Is it, like I think, a term made up by Cosmo to seem in with the youths? Probably. Let me know in the comments down below. Thank you guys so much for watching, and let's get right into the fan art.